Folks, my name is Ben Wheeler. By now, you probably know that. And by now, you're probably already thinking about what you're going to pick up at the Oath of the Gatewatch pre-release, because that's coming out in less than a week. And you might not have had the time to look at other people's set reviews. Hell, I haven't even put out my review with Adam yet. And even then, when it comes out, it's going to be about an hour and a half, maybe an hour long. You know, we're trying to cut it down. Plenty of people are trying to cut it down. And it's being made very easy by this set being crap. But even then, you probably don't have that much time. So, since literally 3 or 4 people have mentioned to me about doing a TLDR set review for Oath of the Gatewatch and probably future sets, I think I might bang one out. Not going to cover every single card in the set, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on them, because again, there's a lot of crap. Enough chit-chat, let's get right through it. Allies. I mean, it's only 6 mana for a souped-up Timely Reinforcements, but then again, you're paying 6 mana for souped-up Timely Reinforcements. 3 mana for 2 tokens, some corny art, and a pretty mediocre ability. Now, I'm a sucker for Bant Blink, but this guy doesn't do anything when he comes into play. You have to use colorless mana to use his ability, and frankly, I think that deck's crap. Cool, it's an idyllic tutor for Planeswalkers, obviously. It's a bit expensive, but it's still quite good. You know, frankly, there are just better cards at this mana in the kind of decks that want this effect. On the plus side, though, it does combo with Skullclamp. It's good effect. It's expensive, which is probably going to just make it unplayable, but it's a unique effect, so who knows. Oh hey, it's a new Stoneforge. You know, there's a lot of value in this card. You essentially get a 3/9 over 2 bodies, but in control, you don't want to open your lands up to removal, and if you're in mid-range, well then you just have this 0/6 wall. Good card, neat effect, pretty streamlined though, a little expensive, there's better options. This is more my jam, but at the same time, it's probably too narrow. The cost is right, but again, there are better options. Cool card, it really drives the point home of you can't fuck with this, but it's really expensive. That said, it's bound to show up because of, well, the general neatness. This card is not upheaval. You know, I want to like this card, and maybe it's fine, but I'm not holding my breath over it. Oh, hey, cool, if I have multiple copies, I can win. See, this is my shit. This is much better in tempo than control, unless you're on a control deck with a lot of cheap spells attached to it, like Grixis or Jeskai. Like it a lot. This is just a bad Illusory Angel, and Illusory Angel's pretty bad. It's kind of this pump spell, protection spell, removal spell, and it's all types of unplayable. Jeremy likes this card. Now this is what I'm fucking talking about. That's a powerful, straightforward well, there goes our chance for a playable prowess card in this set, am I right, folks? Okay, so it's a 2/1 flash flyer, which is good. You play that normally in like a Skies deck or an evasive deck. And then it has this extra ability that just lets you fuck over anybody trying to use tutors or set up various things. It's a dissipate that you can't pitch to Force of Will, so no. This card is real neat. Not good, though. This is just a bad Shadow Rift, and Shadow Rift isn't that great. Great abilities, appropriate cost, incredibly strong. Just love this card. Please, whatever you're doing, do not ride this demon. Persecutor has a similar condition where you can't win the game when it's in play, but you can get around that. It's a 2/1 for 1. What more do you need? This guy's got this Vampire Interloper feeling to him, except he's got a relevant ability tacked on. And, might I add, for both this and the drone, Devoid is super important in black, because you don't have a way to deal with swords and whatnot. This is just Infest meets Anger of the Gods. Costs 4, dies to bolt, does nothing immediately. Nice hair, though. Holy fuck, this guy is huge. This is another addition to like a workshop aggro list with black. Just kidding, it's not an artifact, and there are no artifact creatures in this set worth playing. She's undervalued, she's a fantastic finisher, she goes in more decks than people give her credit for. I would play this card immediately. No. Oh, God, no. It's powerful, it's easy to surge, but I don't think you have a lot of decks that have room for this, but with, you know, better versions of this card. Great ability, Menace is fine, cost effective for power and toughness, definitely on the top end, but I think this card is great. This is a bigger Goblin Bushwacker, and you're going to play Goblin Bushwacker, so you're probably going to play this guy. You know, if you're building budget goblins, this guy's great, but if you've already got your Imperial Recruiter situation figured out, I'd try to avoid him. Oh good, a 3-mana Pyroclasm. It's at instant speed, and you're not going to use that second ability. Too expensive. Another cool ability, and this is much more reasonable, but it's not what I would call powerful. Nissa is overvalued, And while I like it in Hoof and possibly Pox lists, it's not this knockout of the park card that we're looking for. Both abilities are relevant. I'm going to play this. I certainly hope other people would, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up getting cut. This is a dude. He's just a dude. He's got relevant abilities and he's not dead late game, but I can't see somebody playing this in a deck that isn't mono green or maybe green white. Now this is what I'm fucking talking about. This is a great effect. It's cheap. The ability on it can be relevant, and the decks that you want to slide this in either count for having permanence in play or devotion. So, win-win. Oh, nice. I get to ramp up once I finally hit 7 mana. What? I mean, maybe Enchantress, but, what? You call that a Bailoff? You call that a Bailoff? Oh, you know what? Sylvan Ranger was too powerful anyways. Gate Creeper Vine knocked it out of the park. Too good. We can't ever go fucking back there again. Misses some key cards like Birthing Pod and Batterskull. And I think the decks that are willing to play Nature's Claim don't actually care about the life and would much rather be able to hit, well, everything. Holy shit, this guy is huge. Maybe alright, but you know what, probably not. See, this is my shit. Good body. It's not impossible to turn on in the deck that you're going to want to run this in. Playing it without the added ability is still fine, and it gives you some outs to blocking like a Feast and Famine or a Mirran Crusader, which is much needed. Oh, sick. Finally, we get another rampant What the fuck? You know, this is a bad Boreal Centaur, and maybe it's fine. It's kind of boring. This tea's a little too hot. Would I play this guy in an Oath of Druids deck? Maybe, maybe not. Would I reanimate the shit out of him? Absolutely. I think this guy might actually be one of the best reanimation targets available. I like this guy. You know what? I really like this guy. I would have liked 3 toughness or so, but my real beef with him is that you can't cast him off of Workshop. This is another guy that you throw into the big colorless idiot aggro decks. Huge fan of this guy, but I would have been like to cast him off of a Mishra's Workshop. This guy's got lots of abilities, all of them great. Survives a wildfire, obviously easy to cast. Throw him into your lists. Alright, you can cast this guy off of an Ancient Tomb or any kind of accelerant on turn 1, and then when you play your bigger idiot like a Juggernaut or 4-3 or 3-4 the next turn, then you just get to crash in for more damage than you would have before. Cool, man. It's unplayable. Wow, this does a lot. A lot of nothing. It might be fine. You know, it's a nice mix-up on the traditional way of doing this effect. It's easy to cast, gets chump blocked, but it's worth considering playing as a 4-drop. You know, this kills my Juggernauts and my Lodestone Golem, so I don't really know if I can get behind this. Yep, you know what? This is what I'd call the best equipment I have ever seen. Yeah, this doesn't beat out Skullclamp, Jite, Sophie, Batterskull, Sword of Feet. Decent stats to cost. Abilities are true to the colors of the decks that you're going to want to play this in, and it already enters into those pre-existing archetypes. I mean, this is cool. It's vulnerable. Probably too weak. It's too weak. You know what? If you're at this mana cost, you might as well just play Bloodbraid Elf, Huntmaster the Fells, or, you know, another good creature as opposed to this. Great ability, great body, synergizes with Riptide Laboratory. That last part doesn't matter, just play this guy in your decks. Hey, isn't this guy just a Megadeth album? First Strike is huge, and ability isn't that bad, but the colors are off to have an overload on colorless creatures. This is hands down the best card in the set, in my opinion. Frankly, it's fucking stupid, but fantastic. Great 2-drop for Boros. It's got 3 power. The ability is going to be relevant in a deck that thrives off of equipment, but even if it didn't have it, you'd probably jam it. I mean, it's a helpful ability and he's trying, but we've got Plax Manta already. Love this card. Really interested to try it out in more standard archetypes like Burn and whatnot, but I think this will go places. Enters the ability tapped, and it's kind of slow, but the abilities attached to this are pretty nuts for a land. I mean, turning it on might be difficult, but this is a card that I would be excited to see get some real play. It combos with Amulet. It's a neat concept. What am I working with here? Well, at least with the ability, you can save it from Lightning Bolt. No, I'm kidding. It's super disappointing. We'll probably try it out, but I'm going to shit on this more in depth than other set reviews. Well, this is bad and incredibly boring. Well, this is boring and incredibly predictable, but fine. Death Touch is a relevant ability. And this has an incredibly appropriate name. Folks, thank you for tuning in for the TLDR Oath of the Gatewatch set review. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. If you didn't, feel free to send all hate mail directed towards Adam Price. Thank you.